Hey guys, welcome back to indirectknowledge.com. So tonight we're going to do a tarot card reading for Jenny. And actually, we're going to do two different readings for Jenny. The first reading is going to be about future prospects of a relationship. The second one is going to be future prospects of a new place to live and what that might look like. Get some insights on things. The way this normally works, like when we do these readings, if you're tuning in for the first time, is what I like to do is I like to go and look at kind of the past, the present, the future, and then look at kind of what the answer is to the whole spread, whatever we're covering, what the energy is around the current situation, what the querent, or in this case it's Jenny, what her kind of attitude, mindset, or where she's at is with regard to the cards, and just kind of go from there. So the first reading is going to be about the relationships. What are we looking at in terms of relationships for her? And I've already had some things come to me already, but before I really get into that, let's see what the cards really have to say. I can give you kind of an overview or explanation of the cards, and then we can just kind of go off of there. For you guys that don't know, I've been psychic for most of my life. When I was a small child, the first verifiable psychic experience that I had was, I was probably about 9 years old, and I sensed that I had a premonition that some neighbors up the street would all pass away in a car accident, 4 of them. And I saw it very vividly, and the energy was very heavy, and it zonked me out. I fell asleep on a sofa and then a couch, and then when I awoke, I'd had that bad nightmare, that bad dream, what I thought was a nightmare. So I told my mom, and my mom was like, it's a dream, don't worry about it. So she told my father and everyone else, and then a couple weeks later it happened, and it was pretty alarming. Since then, I've had a lot of other experiences that have happened. I went to like an ESP school. I was sent away to learn to kind of find out. At that time, they did measurements of like how psychic a person was. So we did ESP. We had these cards and all kinds of different testing and stuff that they did to determine really like how psychic a person can be. That's not even really that mainstream anymore. I haven't really heard much about that kind of stuff in years. But for me personally, I would say as far as being psychic, it's just increased over the years quite a lot. I've learned to manage it better also. So I've been able to kind of tune into it more in the ESP school, but then also just utilizing some different tools have really been able to help me. So if anyone's ever interested, or if you feel like you're psychic or you've had some similar situations, you want to reach out to me just for advice or some guidance or anything like that, I'm always willing to help, or at least, share kind of my, what's worked for me or helped me. So we're going to cut these cards, and we're going to do the reading. Okay, so the past is, we have the Page of Pentacles. Pages are young people. Pentacles represent money or materiality. That's some material things. This is about a message. Pages bring us messages. It's in this particular case, it's potentiality. It's one of potential. So it's a message of potential. It's material potential, things that could come into your life, those type of things. It brings opportunity, or oftentimes when this card comes, it's about financial gain and those kind of things. And that's the past. So maybe that's where you've been at. The current situation, we are talking with the Emperor. The Emperor is paternal energy. It's external energy. It's about law and order, rules, things that govern the order of life, and that's really where you're at right now. It's practicalities. A lot of times, people that have this card usually are fairly practical people. They look at things in terms of, but it's really about creating these foundations for yourself, setting yourself up for success, utilizing your resources to the best of your abilities. That's really what the Emperor is telling us to do, is to really take control of these resources. In the future, about 2 to 3 months away from now and all, you'll have the Knight of Cups. This is the slowest knight, and this is about relationships. So you'll meet Mr. Right, Miss Right, but I'm picking up a guy, or picking up someone with kind of a brownish, blondish, kind of dirty, blondish, brownish hair, kind of brownish. And this is probably about 2 months out. And the person will have like kind of locks back here and stuff, but all over. But like, yeah, I can just see kind of like the back quarter of his head. I'm also picking up maybe like a tool shed or something like that he's standing in at the moment. And I see him having something to do with like tools, and about a bit of a perfectionist, this guy. So the answer card for you is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about, of course, we have Pentacles here. It's about money, about material things, refining skills, becoming better at your trade, just learning in general, doing things in a repeated way in order to get, the same repetitive results, better results, so that you can get even better results and greater greater rewards, as you progress. So the next card is the energy around the Emperor right now, and that's supplication. This card here is Four of Swords. This is about taking some time to think about things mentally before you make a lot of decisions or you move into any kind of direction. And then we have the wow. So this is kind of where you're at mentally and stuff like that. This is a very interesting card right here to show up in your spread. Almost makes me think you may have someone in mind or be in a relationship or something like that, because usually this is really what you're wanting, and this is the Ten of Cups, and Ten of Cups is really about like fulfillment of relationships. So really being able to zero in, and that's what you're wanting. That's what the Attitude card is all about. And that's revolving this Emperor about doing certain things in a certain way to get certain results. It's about law and order and doing things in the right way. And that's what you're wanting at this moment. And then we have the Outcome card. And the Outcome card is the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is, again, we're dealing with the Pentacle card here. We started with the Ace of Pentacles from the past. That's about creating new things. When you get to this Five of Pentacles, sorry about the furnace turning on. We're in Michigan right now, and it's actually, the temperature is quite chilly. It's in the 30s, maybe low 40s right now, Fahrenheit. But anyways, this is about kind of, kind of being beaten up a little bit, or, the outcome to this is really about it's basically asking you to kind of remember your skills and your abilities and the things that you have, your capabilities, utilizing your resources and that. I'm picking up, though, that the relationship will be a good relationship for you. I'm also picking up, let's do the next spread real quick. I'm just putting these cards in all randomly throughout the deck, and then I'm going to shuffle them nicely for our second spread. This will be a very compatible relationship in the sense that you guys have some commonality, and I'm saying commonality mostly in the sense that you guys tend to be very practical people, you and him. He's a bit more of a perfectionist than you are, but it's not going to drive you nuts because you have the temperament to be able to handle that, and he's not going to be like perfectionistic in terms of expectations that you should fulfill. It's more going to be in his own way, like, and about refining the craft and everything like that, doing things more perfectly to be able to create more income and stuff. He's going to be someone that's going to be very grounded. Okay. He's going to be someone that has, I don't know necessarily rich or not, but he's definitely going to be someone that's okay financially, and someone that has the ability to earn money and to take care of you and take care of himself, and those kind of things. This person, and there's no masculinity or femininity per se, like in terms of girl or boy or anything like that. It's just the energy of the card. It's so when I say, like, if I say masculine or feminine or he or she, I don't want you to think of it in terms of it could be like it definitely has to be a guy or definitely has to be a girl. It's just that it's the energy. It's what that represents. Okay, so try and keep that in mind. The tarot cards themselves, they don't have anything like that. You see the queen and you think female, but it's just that kind of an energy is what it's really all about. The same thing with the actual reality of the relationship potential. But that's what I'm picking up. Let's look at. I'm going to cut this deck of cards real quick, but as I do, I just want to really zero in on really the living arrangement thing. You talked about maybe wanting an apartment flat or a bungalow or a house or some kind of maybe new living thing, and you're thinking about moving. So let's look at what that looks like for you. So in the past, it was about kind of leaving things, rejection of material life, these kind of things, walking away, eschewing things, that kind of thing. It's kind of like you got everything that you wanted, but you're not really that satisfied with it, at least not to the degree that you wanted it to be. And so this card is really telling you to seize the day, leave the past in the past, and that's kind of what you've done. And that, or at least that's what you're working toward. This card here is your present situation when it comes to the apartment and stuff like that. And this is really the victory card. It's about being in a good situation where you can make the move, you can do things in a nice way and that kind of thing. Pretty much being victorious. In the future and stuff like that, we have the moon. The moon is not always what we see is what we get. It's more of an intuitive card and all. So for someone with your personality and your makeup and that, this kind of card may not resonate as much with you. It's a very hypnotizing card. It's basically more to do with like the unconscious mind, less to do about conscious or critical thinking or reasoning and rationality and black and white. And this is, let's make decisions based on sound logic versus, our feelings or emotions, those kind of things. This is more, this is going to cause you to basically have that tunnel vision. So you might not be able to see everything like outside of, this very fixated gaze or direction that you happen to be moving into. That's going to be moving more into the future and stuff like that. Not a bad card though. And then the answer to everything is, as far as this here, is going to be the Ace of Swords. Ace is all about creating new things. Sword is about the mental. So we're mentally creating new things for ourselves inwardly. So it's about, in order to make the move, you got to kind of want it internally. You got to be able to internalize it in order to be able to manifest it into your reality. This isn't about woo-woo stuff, either law of attraction and none of that. This is really all actually quite practical, but it's all to do with the mind. With this card, you kind of have a moment of clarity, and that's what it's going to take in order for you to really be able to make the move in that. As far as the next card, it's going to be the energy surrounding the victory card and everything like that. So the energy of that is, well, you're seeing it right here. This is the Chariot. Chariot is really, it's about letting go of things that negatively impact your mind so that you can move forward. It's about strength, having an outward strength to be able to persevere and move forward and move through things. It's about staying the distance, staying the course, staying on the path. It's really this greater desire to act, and then the greater likelihood that you will act. So if you have this great desire to make changes in your life, the greater those changes, the greater you'll be able to do things. Sure, Deepa, you can get a reading. Just, dear, if you would, just ask your question in the chat, and then we'll do a reading for you real quick just after this one here. Okay, I'll tell you in just one moment. So the next card, And Jenny is the kind of where you're at with everything and stuff like that. And it's really tiresome kind of a card that you see in this. I mean, this is a person that's really worked hard. They're toiling. They're kind of beat up. They're just kind of done with things mentally, and they're just ready to kind of, you've come so far. You've made some mistakes. You've learned from them. You're trying to just get through things, and try to get to the next chapter of your life and everything. But you're tired. Like I said, you're beaten up. You're ready and willing to fight. Your resolve is kind of, deepened, and now you're kind of this last ditch effort to kind of push through and to try to make things, to get what it is that you're really after, try to build the life that you're really trying to build. And then finally, we have the outcome card and all. And the outcome card is the 6 of Swords. This representing chaos to calm. This is about going from chaotic situations or ideas from the past that maybe held you back before in order to move to calmer waters and more peaceful times in your life. And so I'll just tell you, just from what I'm getting from both of these readings, I can just kind of give you the, kind of what I'm picking up. In about 2 months from now, you will meet someone. This person, this guy will have locked hair. It's going to be kind of like a sandy brownish blonde kind of color. I don't really know exactly how best to describe it. It's fairly common kind of hairstyle, but he has some traditional values, but he also has, there's a masculine energy around him. I see him like in a tool shed or some kind of a shop or something like that. I see like a wood. I see like wood tables, wood walls, maybe wood exterior or something like that. Rustic is what's kind of coming into my awareness with it. I also see a new place for you, probably his place. And in this place that he has, I see like a green, like a banister or a green, not banister, but like maybe a green banner, or it's some kind of a green piece of plastic, or I don't know. It's just something green. I'm seeing it kind of outside the door, the entrance of the place and all. I'm just kind of picking that up. It's yours if you want it. Ultimately, the outcome is up to you. Both of you guys are going to be relatively compatible. Your energy is going to be more kind of rational. His is also going to be very rational. His is going to be more perfectionistic than yours, but he's not going to hold that against you or anything like that. And he'll have an appreciation for you, and he'll be very open and accepting of you, even though his perfectionistic tendencies may cause him to be a little bit slower or a little bit more, he's going to dot his I's, cross his T's, make sure that all the details and everything are really there. So anyways, Kelly, that is everything. I mean, I hope that kind of helps you out. If you have any questions or anything as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you. Of course, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to get notifications whenever we come on the stream and do these readings and stuff, which is fairly frequently. It's not always that I get the details and all so crystal clear, like I'm picking up with your situation. I'm also seeing something like red or something like that, and I'm not real. I haven't been able to really zero in on it. If I do pick up more about it, I'll let you know. But yeah, things are going to start to change for you, so long as you are desiring those changes. And the more that you desire those changes, the more changes are going to come about for you in the desired way that you want them. But things are definitely going to be good for you. It's not going to be like a troubled situation or anything like that. But I do kind of pick up, it's weirdly enough, I'm almost picking up like in that now, like right now in the present moment, you may also either have a prospect of wanting to be with someone or an idea of this person or something like that. I mean, I'm not privy to that information, only you're going to know that kind of bit, but something, but we definitely have in the present moment, we're thinking more about, what it is that we really want, and trying to flesh that out. It's maybe family, or it's, it's a positive outcome. It's like where people are in love. There's a good sentiment there. I'm definitely picking that up for you as far as where you guys are at right now. But in the future, it's going to be the, that knight with the pentacle. That was really kind of more about the, movement and everything like that, moving things forward in that. So that's really where your future is in 2 months from now. And of course, some of that's going to be about material things. And material things can be also moving, like with the house and everything, or it could be finances and stuff improving as well. Could be that you meet this guy at work or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. Could be that you meet him at some kind of social event or something along those lines, if you haven't already met him already. So I'm not exactly 100% sure on that, but that's what I got for you. So let's move on. So Deepa, I'm going to go ahead and do a reading for you now. You're asking, am I getting a promotion and job this year? So will you get a promotion this year? Okay, let's look at it. We're just going to do a quick 7-card spread here. Look at the past, present, future. Look at kind of where the answer is, or the key to this is. Once we do that, we'll look at the energy surrounding the current situation. We'll look at kind of where your energy is surrounding, things as far as the promotion and everything goes. And then we'll also look at really what the outcome is. So it won't take very long here. And get going with it. So we'll just shuffle and cut. Oops. Okay, there we go. So the first card is the past, and the past is going to be the Queen of Cups. Okay, so Queen of Cups, you can see that card right there. Queens are about influence. Cups are about relationships, influencing relationships. That's kind of been the past. That's kind of the things that you've been more or less working toward. The things about this type of influence is about internal influence. It's about indirect influence, looking at things more indirectly, being able to steer things in your favor without actually having to take action. You can do it through it's more of this is about emotional influence. This is being empathetic, understanding how other people feel, and being able to kind of zero in on that in order to be influential. So you've been able to utilize that to your advantage in this job career that you have. In the current situation, all this is the situation that you find yourself in. It's almost like you're trapped, but you're really not. If you look at this card here, we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is about, you see the young woman here. She's bound up. She's got a blindfold on. She can't really see where she's at. Has no idea where she's at. But the reality is if she just backed up maybe a foot, or like half a meter or something, she could just free herself right away. And of course, she's outside the kingdom. She could go and do whatever she wanted to. And so swords are about mental things. It's like the lies we tell ourselves. It's the things that hold us bondage. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6, there's a really great verse there. It's, for one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who's failed to do so, the mind will be the greatest enemy. And this is a really good card that kind of emulates that kind of thinking. You're letting the negativity and things like that infiltrate your mind. Of course, that's not good. And so the card is basically telling you, hey, don't do that. Let go of your negativity, your critical thinking, your doubt, your disbelief, kind of this unconquered mind that we talk about. And just realize that, you're able really to free yourself anytime and feel back in control of things. And that's exactly the advice the card is giving you. In the future, like about, I'm calibrated to about 3 months out, but in the future and stuff like that, this is what you have here. We have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands. I always think of this. I really like the metaphor here as like a table. If you have a table and it's got 4 legs, and you get rid of one of those legs, that table is going to fall over, right? You get rid of 2, it's going to fall over. Get rid of all 3. Get rid of 3, it's going to fall over. 4, it's going to fall over. But if you got all 4 legs, you're on pretty good footing. This card really here is about creative energy. You got the 4 of energy. 4s are about order and structure. And like I said, order or structure, that's what you get with a table. So that's why I like to use kind of this 4 legs that kind of support a table kind of metaphor. But the Four of Wands reveals really your first taste of success. And that's what you're going to start to see with this job, this career right now, moving forward and all. So kind of the initial go ahead on your ideas. So you're going to, it's basically a time of celebration. You're going to feel pretty good, within about a couple months from now. It's coming sooner. It could even be within the next month and a half it's the next month and a half to 3 months out is what I'm kind of picking up. The answer to everything is going to be the Death card. We'll come back to this in a moment. Don't get frightened by it. And the energy surrounding the current situation and all, this Eight of Swords, this is the card that I just showed you a moment ago, where you've got the young maiden and stuff, and she's been bound up and she's got the swords all around her and stuff, but she's really free. She just doesn't know that she's free. It's the mind that's trapping her. The energy that's surrounding that is the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is, well, you can look at it. It's about being desolate, being kind of out. Maybe you were successful at one point, or you had a lot of material possessions at one point, or you've had a measure of success that you created for yourself. Maybe you started a business, or you were involved in some business, or helping others to create something and stuff. You learned some skill sets and everything was going really good. And the next thing you know, maybe you're out of a job, or you're out of your situation changed and that type of thing. And so, and that's kind of the energy, right? That's surrounding this current situational, is that it's more of an energy of like, oh goodness, my situation is not as good as it once was. I'm kind of, just, despaired, kind of, having some problems and that kind of thing. And so maybe some financial problems too. Lost some money. Could be lost some money in the stock market, or lost some money in an investment, or lost some money through some other means, or, investments went down or something, it could be anything. But so you're feeling kind of a loss, sort of like this feeling of loss around these mental things that are going through your mind, the negativity, disbelief, unconquered mind, that kind of thing that we talked about. And kind of like this whole idea of losing what you have, nobody likes that feeling. It's kind of a, but the Five of Pentacles, what this is really teaching us, there's a lesson to be learned in this card, and it's a really valuable lesson and all. And the lesson that it really teaches us is that you can lose everything, but it's the skills that you learn, it's the education that you gain that can get you right back up on your feet again, So it's not really the stuff that you acquire or the situation that you find yourself in. If your situation diminishes and it's not quite there or quite like it was once before, regardless of how it came about, it's telling you that because you have these life experiences, you have this education, you have these skills, you can go back out there and make success of yourself again and again and again, and nobody can take those skills away from you. So that will never leave you. That's really where this is coming into play, as far as like the current situation where you kind of feel a little bit trapped, or you feel like your voice maybe is not being heard, that kind of thing. So the next card is really about you. This was the energy surrounding the situation. This is kind of, what you would like to, kind of how you would like to approach this kind of thing and whatnot, where your attitude, your mindset and things are about the current situation with this here Eight of Swords. And this is a card that you get. Again, we have another Queen. This is really interesting because this Queen here is the Queen of Pentacles. Before you had the Queen of Cups, which was about relationships, probably with a supervisor or boss, a CEO of a company, someone along those lines, or somebody that's in control of, you getting a promotion. And here you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is where your mind is, or your attitude around the situation. It's about controlling your financial destiny, or controlling your it's about material influence is really what the Queen is all about. Queens are about influence, but they're about internal influence. And so it's about coming into, it could be that you're shown some kind of affection or something like that, or something through material gifts. It's about like getting this promotion. And once you do, it's about, you want to be able to maybe help other people in your family, or, or put yourself in a better situation and help others. It could be influencing others through gifts and that kind of thing as well. Now let's look at the outcome here for you. Three of Swords. Okay. Swords are mental. We talked about that. Usually this is about betrayal. So the outcome here is betrayal, and there's a solution to this card right here. We'll give you the answer in just a moment, but this is a betrayal card, and oftentimes, and it's about mental betrayal. Three of Swords is about painful rejection. You get rejected. If you ask for that promotion, this is saying that, the outcome is not so good. And then you have to kind of live with the loss that comes with that. which is not a good thing. I mean, so it can really be like you feel a sense of betrayal from this, like you think you're doing a great job. You think you're able to influence and everything. And then all of a sudden, you're asking for this promotion and then it doesn't come about. And what it does is when you ask, you get more information. And when you get this information, that information is usually something that's brought to light that you were kind of blinded to, blinded about, like with the Two of Swords. Two of Swords not really in your reading, but like what precedes the Three of Swords is the Two of Swords. And so that's usually about kind of being blinded by, all the details and everything surrounding the situation. So the answer to this, okay, so the kind of the key to avoiding this situation, this betrayal, this rejection and everything like that, is the Death card. And this is about transformation. Okay, death is about transformation usually. It could be about physical death often, sometimes depending on the type of reading. But for this particular reading, that's not the case. This is really more about transformation. It's the importance of letting go of things that really no longer work in order to make room for new things. So you have to kind of let go of some outdated ideas, some outdated beliefs, and really just, any kind of activities that are holding you back. And so that's really what this is, is really more or less saying to you. As far as getting a promotion in the sense that you were thinking of getting the promotion, that doesn't really seem to be the case. But in order to get, in order to avoid this situation of this betrayal or this asking and then not being able to get it because of other things that you just weren't really aware of, it could be about a lot of different things, but it's going to be news you just don't really want to hear anyway. So why ask if you're going to hear some things that you really don't, it's just going to be kind of a negative situation. You don't really want that. But the answer to avoiding this and all is to really let go of kind of the outdated things that really just are holding you back, and, if you let go of those things, then yeah, you can get promotions, you can get success. More things will come to you and that as well. So now let me just kind of see if I can pick up anything here. I'm gonna see like a meeting, like I see I see glass. I see like a glass wall or something like that. I don't want to say it's like a CEO's office or like a meeting room or something like that, conference room perhaps. Just see glass. Glass is usually also like a metaphor sometimes for, being able to see through things. You have like this insight automatically where you kind of have a suspicion, but, you really want to get the promotion. So maybe you just go ahead and ask anyway. I'm seeing glass and yeah, I don't really see a promotion in the cards for you right yet. You want to you want to have your influence, you want material influence and things. You want things to work, maybe working out of the home. Showing affection through like material gifts, different things like that. I'm trying to think, where is this coming from? Okay. Picking up that not you, but someone else in your work situation. Someone else in your work situation is kind of more front and center, and this person is not going to be there very long, as they're going to be out the door pretty soon. And your job, though, is secure. Like, you will, in about 4 months from now, you will get some kind of it'll be financial gain, but I don't know if it will necessarily be a promotion, maybe a raise. But your job is important, and so they don't want to let you go from the situation that you're in. So that's what it's really all about. That's what this Three of Hearts is telling me. I was wondering a little bit about this. So, okay, so I was kind of hung up on this card a moment ago, and I wasn't really getting a lot of insight about it. But what this is telling me, it's this betrayal, this kind of stuff that I was talking to you about. It's not that the company wants to hurt your feelings or they want to tell you, no, you can't have this promotion that you're looking for, with more, which might seem more important. It's not that at all. You will get money. You will get a raise or find yourself in a better financial situation. But your job right now that you have is a stable job. It'll give you, they want you in this position and all because you're a stable person for this position, whereas somebody else may not be. And there's somebody else in the company. I don't know who she is, but she's not going to be there. She's not going to be there very much longer. She's going to be on her way out the door. And you might end up, picking up a little bit more attention. But, as far as a promotion goes, I don't really so much see that. If you want to, if you're okay with the money coming in and stuff like that and getting more of a raise or more along things like that, they won't have any problem with that per se. But in order for that to happen, you just kind of have to let go of this whole idea of, the importance of position. Like people get so caught up on titles and different things that they say, well, I don't care about the money. I just, I want to have I want a manager's position. I want to be like, I want to be a senior role person or something along those lines. You just get those thoughts out of your mind. I mean, like I was saying in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6, for one who's conquered the mind is the best of friends. For one who's failed to do so, mind is the greatest enemy. So just let go of that negative, kind of thinking and stuff, and things will be really good for you. You're going to make more money. That's a good thing. A promotion and stuff will come in time, but not right away or anything like that. In about 4 months and stuff like that, you will be in you will be playing a more critical, more important role, but you also have, there's going to be victory. There's going to be a happiness. There's going to be good and positive things for you. So that's really it. I mean, and whatever you're thinking or whatever the things are in your mind that kind of hold you back, let go of those things. I mean, it's not valid is what I'm trying to say. As they say, when I was growing up, don't think negative, it's not good, but it's hard not to think negative sometimes, but just let the negativity go. Things are going to be good for you. So that's the best I can do for you. All right. Does anybody else need a reading? Well, we've been doing this for about 40 minutes now. We've done Kelly's reading, got her a little bit of advice, and we just did Deepa. Yep, you're very great. Graciously welcome, Deepa. Thank you so much. Yep, great. I'm glad you enjoy that. Yep, I don't know if you guys know my story or not, but, like I was saying kind of earlier, I've been psychic ever since I was a small child, and it's just the gift, whatever you want to call it, just the ability to do it has just escalated. So I've been, I get things more and more all the time, and I've been able to help quite a bit of people with it. But yeah, it's what it is. All right, well, I guess that kind of sort of concludes our live stream. Guys, I'm just a monk here, and we do things out of love, and we hope that other people do things out of love as well. We don't ask for for money or anything like that per se. We don't charge, I guess, is a better way of putting it, for the services and things we do. It's really an act of love and selflessness on our part. For basic maintenance, though, if anyone would like to donate or anything like that, we do have. Oh, hi, VG. How are you? Did you have a reading or anything? We were just about to wrap up, but if you have a question or something you'd like to get a tarot reading on, we could maybe get one last one in. I have a little bit of time here. Okay, the question is when will Rex reconcile with me? Yeah, we can do that for you. No worries. Well, guys, you can just look at the description of this video. I've got an email address on there and stuff as well. So yeah, if you have follow-ups or you just want to stay in touch or something like that, feel welcome to email me. My email address is just my first name. It's Chandra. It's Chandra 108@gmail.com. You don't have to remember that or write it down. It's just Chandra, Chandra 108@gmail.com. And that's my best email address. I check it every day, most every day. And yeah, I can do some readings for you guys or whatever. And then if you guys do want to help the monks and, just for our basic maintenance and to allow us to be able to serve society, and it's in your heart to do so, you can always go to the website helpbydonating.com. And at helpbydonating.com, you can just, whatever's in your heart, it's just kind of like a donation site where you can donate whatever is in your heart to donate, if it's in your heart. We don't ask anybody to do it. It's just, and we don't want anybody donating if it's not in their heart. So, but I throw that out there. It does help. But, so let's zero in now on this reading here. When will Rex reconcile with VG? So the past is, this is a 2 of Wands. This is about deciding how you want to approach things. So, I mean, it's sort of like, and this is the past. This is like, in the past, you've thought to yourself, well, do I want to take more of a traditional approach? Maybe a new approach. It's basically planning things out, putting together a plan, basically evaluating options. That's what this card is really all about. The current situation right now, we have the Page of Wands. Pages are messengers. Wands, well, they're about creative energy, kind of the soul. I like to think of the wands as sort of like the soul card. We have, like within the tarot, we have the mind, we have the body, and we have the soul, and we have the emotions, those kind of things. So this is a page, and the page is a young person. The young person is bringing us a message, it's telling us something. Children are really interesting. They can sit around adults and, they're just kind of forgotten about, right? But the children pick up things, they hear things. And then what they do is they go to the other parent and they tell what the other parent said and said, well, why is this? And they start asking questions and, they get kind of, and that's really this page and what they kind of do. They bring these messages. And this is a message of creative potential, a spark of an idea. This is getting excited, stirring up good things. But just keep in mind, this is more about on the soul level. And that's kind of, what this is about right now in the current situation. Creative potential. It's about the potential for the soul. In the future and stuff like that, we have the 10 of Swords. This is really kind of, the end of an era, the end of something happening. But this is, swords are about the mind. This is the emulation of getting stabbed in the back. Defeated by your thoughts is the best way of putting it. A card of endings. possibly loss. But here's a little secret, and I wish I could just kind of lean in and just kind of tell the secret. But when you are letting go of something, new things are coming about, better things. Um, so this card is kind of more, less about endings, and really it's more about beginnings. The 10 in the tarot is kind of like, I don't want to say purgatory, but it's more, it's kind of like 9 is endings, 1s are beginnings, and what comes in between is the 1 and the 0. So that's a 10. And so that's sort of like the time it takes from one thing to complete and the new thing to begin. So you're kind of in that flux. And that's where the future is. That's about 2 months from now. Picking up a 2 on that. 2 months from now. So you'll start to see, letting go of things on that. So let's continue here. This is all about Rex reconciling and when. That's the past. So the answer card for us is the Lovers. This is a good card. Lovers is about kind of where you're deciding, do I go it alone or do I go with a partner? It's a really good way of looking at it. Partnerships sometimes require sacrifice. Going it alone sometimes also requires sacrifice. You're sacrificing, being with someone else or sharing the responsibility, sharing the load. But at the same time, when you're with someone else, there is that sacrifice of it's basically something gained for something forfeited. So, if you say, yes, I want the relationship, or yes, I want this, you kind of have to give up something for that as well. So either way you look at it, it could be, you can look at the glass half full or the glass half empty, regardless of the situation. But the decisions, that's really the answer. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. The energy surrounding the Page of Wands, that's that messenger card that we talked about a moment ago, about creative potential, about a message of inspiration, the inspiring of something new coming about. For that, we have the Five of Swords. That's this card here. This Five of Swords is about winning at all costs. Okay, this is the problem with winning at all costs, is that you might win and others lose, and you might be able to, say, well, I won or I got what I wanted. But the problem is with this particular card, sometimes when you approach things from this vantage point and you kind of find out, sort of to your dismay, that the price of winning may not actually have been worth the reward that you received. But this is definitely a card of conquest, and that's really what that Page of Wands is really all about, coming out on top. Where you're at, kind of your mindset, or where your energy and everything is, it's really it's the Nine of Pentacles. This is a pretty good card, like kind of where you're at. You're sitting pretty good right here. This is the card of self-reliance, being, you're able to take care of yourself. Your mind is, independent and free. You've attained success. You can now enjoy your money or your material abundance or your situation. Leisure time, pleasure, just basically material comforts, success, well-deserved rest, those kind of things, and being in a good situation. That's really what that card's about. That's where your energy is, surrounding this, being able to create new things into your life, those kind of things. And then we have the outcome card, and the outcome is the Hanged Man, looking at things differently. So now all of these cards have all sorts of different metaphoric meanings. They have sort of a story to tell, each in their own way. the outcome here is really how we think that um, the things that we think are important are, at the end of the day, less important to us. Um, it's a card of letting go of things that you really don't need, sacrificing needless things in your life. Cutting out baggage, cutting out relationships that no longer work for you, cutting out just things that are not in alignment with your values, your beliefs, and sometimes that's easier said than done. But the key to being able to do that is to move forward in your relationships, or to retreat from them, either or. So, as far as answering your question goes, when will you guys reconcile? When will he reconcile with you? It's really up to you. Because you're in the power play position here. Just be careful, because maybe in a month or two, some things can come to an end. Something new is going to be coming into your life. That's what that page is really all about. New relationship, new something coming in. I'm not seeing like a strong reconciliation with Rex unless you opt to it'll be more kind of a lighter thing. It'll just be something that sort of happens, and it'll be in and out as far as the reconciliation goes. But the decision to, be in a partnership, I'm not 100% sure that that's really. I would say about 45%, like to go into the relationship, or to go into a relationship, this new relationship, I'd say mentally you're about 45% of the way there. You're not quite over the 50%. So in terms of probabilities, just from this tarot reading, I would say something more along the lines of, like, if given the opportunity for relationship, or for, moving in this direction, or something like that, or taking hold of this, and probably you would not, based on that 45 metric that I gave you, probability. But at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to you. And really, this is the answer to being able to see things differently. But just remember, inaction is also a decision. And so if you decide that you don't want to move in the relationship, you will be giving up something nonetheless. If you decide you do want to do the relationship, you will be giving up something as well. I think the relationship would be good for you. I'm kind of picking up that it would be a positive move on your part, something along those lines, this new relationship that I'm talking about. But, as far as like with, as far as like getting things going with this new relationship, I wouldn't take the approach of this winning at any cost kind of idea. I would take more of kind of a, just kind of let things flow a little bit, like try not to control things so much, for this new relationship to come about and to come into fruition in that. The experience will be much better for you. I mean, you'll be much happier. at the, as far as your energy and things go, you're in control of things. You've attained a level of success in things. You're not in a bad situation now, in fact, so and you're in a position to be able to create the relationships that you want and that kind of thing. So yeah, I hope this has helped you a little bit. Just trying to think. I'm picking up like a hallway or something like that. It's a little bit dark in the hallway. It's not like black dark. It's more kind of like just the lights are off, or there's not a lot of light in the hallway. And I'm seeing there's not a lot of lights in the hallway. Boredom, like there's sort of a little bit of boredom there. It's peaceful, but it's just kind of boring. Thank you very much. Yeah. A little bored, and boredom, this hallway I'm seeing, this boredom is kind of like, it'd be like just, sitting in a house or something like that, without really much entertainment, maybe no internet, maybe no cable or something, and just not really having much to do and just kind of being bored. Like you're not tired enough to go to sleep. You're just kind of, just kind of existing, kind of there. And that's kind of like, creates a sense of restlessness. That's kind of the thing I'm kind of picking up. I see a room also just kind of like sitting down, like on the floor or something like that, kind of in the room. That's off from the hallway. That's more like the front room of the house or something. And this is to do with like your mind is just thinking too much about things, but you're bored, you're restless, you want to take action, you're ready to get out there and do something. You do have those wands. So the Page of Wands is about creative energy, and that's about action, and that's things moving forward. So yeah, I would, I guess, if I was going to give you any advice at all, I would say like the thing that I would recommend, or something to kind of best serve you, is try to get something going that will entertain you and keep you from being bored while you're kind of in this flux period and all, before this relationship thing starts to manifest itself, come into fruition. And and things will be good for you. I see positive things for you, but just, to help you kind of just, just kind of more weather the boredom, or get to more of a, where you're not just feeling restless. You're not like, I got to do something. I got to make a move. I got to do this. I got to do that. I need to make a phone call. I need to pace. I need to do something. But just this energy, would be really good. All right. So that was done. So VG, thank you so much for that question and stuff. Glad I was able to help you with that. So infinity is one. Oh, hello. How are you? Infinity is one. So infinity is one. I probably got time to do one more reading. If you have a question or something, if you'd like a tarot reading, I'd be happy to do one for you as well. And then we'll probably have to end the live stream. So if you want to take a minute or something just to kind of think about something you might want to ask. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. But you're more than welcome to ask a question. And okay, I'd like to know, how does someone feel about me? Okay, you have a particular someone in mind? If so, that's okay. You don't have to mention any names or anything like that. That's fine. I mean, I will protect the identities and everything of people. That's always a good thing. But if you have a particular person in mind, okay, good. You have a person in mind. So, all right, yeah, let's find out how they actually feel. For that, we'll look at the past, present, future. Basically do a same 7-card draw. It seems to be a pretty good one for these types of readings. So we'll just shuffle the cards. So infinity is one. That's a really cool name. just cut the cards here. Oh, you're welcome. All right. So in the past, and this is when I do this, it's not specific to you, and it's not specific to this person that you're thinking about. I'll be able to kind of zero in on the two different energies that come through on the reading. But for the past, present, and future, it's sort of like, it's to where you guys are at in terms of your union or your relationship, however you define that. It could be that you're just platonic and that you've only been friends, or you've maybe just met, or it could be something to, maybe you've known each other since childhood, or you've known each other for quite some time. And you just want to kind of know, like, maybe you have a suspicion or something like that, that this person has feelings for you or not, or you're just not really sure. And so the past is sort of like, it's not just me talking about this person in general, but it's kind of this person in relation to your relationship with them, if that makes sense. So let's look at, so the past is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Knight of Pentacles is the knight that is the slowest knight in the tarot. And this knight is really about covering the details. He's a perfectionist. So they don't just, they don't make rash decisions. This knight here wants to prove himself, and he wants to do things, but he knows that in order to prove himself, he has to do things in the right way. He has to cover his bases, cover his details, and has to be a little bit methodical. And so in that way, he's a bit of a perfectionist, in terms of how he does that. You might not know that about him, because people that generally are perfectionists like that are pretty good at hiding it. They can kind of, they know kind of like behind the scenes what they're wanting, but they're good at hiding it so other people don't know. And to get what they want, they know that they have to do certain things in a certain way to get a certain result. And so that's kind of where he's at with you. And so this person is, what's the best way of putting it? He or she, but he is, knows what he wants, and knows what the, but he's, methodical. Like, he has to make sure that everything is right, that it's the right timing, it's the right circumstances, it's the right, and it's about material movement is what this particular night is really all about. Now, when we say material movement, we see a lot of people think, the pentacles, coins, that means money. It's not just money. It's about what money can buy. So it's really about stuff. It's about the things that we're attracted to, getting the things in life that we really want. It's also about just, this is like Capricorn kind of thinking. It's this here earthiness. It's about being grounded, so he's that kind of a personality type. And so he wants to make sure that he does things in the right way so that he doesn't just rush into something and then it blow up in his face and then it's over and done with and it was quick lived. He's more about like the long haul, like things done over time. That's the past. And anyways, in the present moment, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, more pentacles. Okay. So material, like groundedness, we're getting more of that energy. The Seven of Pentacles is really about evaluating results. And so we're seeing, so this is really about evaluating results, kind of seeing like what has really worked, or looking right now at what's working, what's not working, deciding if, if it's worth it to this person to pursue things or not. The card really kind of signifies, that if you work hard and you do things in a nice way, that all of that will pay off. But it also kind of warns that the effort that you put in, maybe in the past or something, might be a little bit wasted because you're being kind of inert. You're not really taking action or showing affection or showing, you're kind of taking a break from things. And that's where the the current situation is right now. It's like he's been doing things nicely all along and doing everything great in the right way, but then all of a sudden there's just kind of like pause. And in that pause is like, it's unfortunate, because at that moment, a lot of that hard work, a lot of the things that he's already done, to impress or to make strides or to do things in a nice way is not, is sort of wasted, because maybe it kind of goes out the window or becomes forgotten pretty quickly. And that's the thing, with that kind of situation. That's kind of the situation in the current moment with his thinking and that. In the future, about 3 months out, I'm calibrated. We have the Queen of Cups. You can see the old queen here. I say old, she's not really that old. She's actually quite influential. And queens are really about internal influence. It's being able to influence our minds. And this is the Queen of Cups. Cups are about relationship, influencing relationships. In the future, it's really going to be more about like how you interact with others and yourself. Yeah. And Queen of Cups is very empathetic, and very empathic, can pick up on people's emotions. That's what this cup is about, picking up on the emotional side of things, how people feel, able to interact with those people, kind of based on those people's emotions, So if you can kind of sense how people feel, it kind of gives you this leeway in communication to kind of be able to kind of tiptoe around them or communicate with them in a certain way that's going to resonate more with them. And that's what, this empathicness is all about. And that's going to be in the future. Again, everybody's like in the same kind of time frame. A lot of times I get times that are way out, as far as the energy, but this I'm seeing about, a couple few weeks out. I'm not even seeing that much. I'm not seeing a long duration of time that we start to see that this hair influence starts to happen. Not a bad sign. It's a sort of a sign of like being able to communicate in a nicer way or in a better way, or be more influential with the relationship and stuff like that. Be able to have more of a, I don't want to say emotional control, but definitely being able to internalize and see things on that way. Let's look at the answer. Okay, I'm just getting something here. Okay, so the answer card that you have is, boy, you have the cups. So coins and cups. So this is, I have the Six of Cups here. Where's that? Six of Cups. And this is a really cool card, actually. And sometimes it's confusing to some people, but the Six of Cups, it's kind of linked to the past. And sometimes you have to kind of work through the past in order to build a stronger future. This card is about repeating old patterns, rehashing things. It's a card of nostalgia in many ways. You're looking at things from the past and making decisions based on, what you learned from those mistakes or those successes. That's what learning is really all about. It's about, when you trial and error, learn something, or, if you have a good result, what do? You repeat that result, or you replicate that process, or you continue to relive that experience over and over because of you want to continue to have more of the same. But if you have something not so nice or negative, perceivably negative happen as a result of an action that you've performed in the past, then you're like, okay, I can learn from my mistakes and I don't have to repeat that again. Not everybody does that, though. Like sometimes people are just like, well, maybe it was just an anomaly. Maybe I'll try it again and see what happens. And then they fall into this kind of so the Six of Cups is about, and sometimes it's just like, sometimes it could be that, something from the past comes up and it sort of just pauses the future for a moment, or the current situation for a moment, or it introduces a new variable into things. And so that's the answer card. We'll talk more about it in a moment, but the energy surrounding the Seven of Pentacles, that's that pause I said that was happening that kind of negates things that you've done in a nice way in the past, because those things tend to be forgotten because you're kind of, resting on your laurels, so to speak. It's mostly from being inert, not really putting forth effort at it, when you should be. The energy surrounding that is the Eight of Swords. And that's this card right here. The Eight of Swords is really, you see a person, they're bound up, blindfolded, outside of this kingdom. They're not in a prison. And in fact, there's a bunch of these swords just kind of sitting in the sand. And this person, unknowingly, because they're just not seeing everything because they're kind of blind to it, they could just easily back up and cut themselves free and then, go in any direction that they want and have total freedom and all that kind of stuff. But because of their situation, because of being bound up, blindfolded, and, they're just not seeing the big picture. They're not seeing everything that's out there to be saw. And so they're too much in their mind. They're thinking the worst. And the reality is that, they could be free at any given moment. The key to this card really is about, and this is the energy surrounding this, him kind of pausing things right now, or kind of being inert, not really putting forth the effort. The kind of the energy surrounding this is really this card here. It's about the unconquered mind. Just, not letting go of your critical thinking or your negativity or, all these kind of thoughts and things that are kind of holding you back. He's too much in the mind and he's not really doing what he should be doing. And that's a problem. Sometimes we get too much in our head and it's like, we defeat ourselves. We're our own worst enemy. And that's kind of where he's at with it at the moment. Let us go to where this is kind of where you're at kind of right now. And this is your attitude, your mindset about things and stuff. And we have the Empress. She represents kind of a nurturing nature. Oftentimes when this card comes up, it's about pregnancy or wanting to get pregnant or wanting to have a family or wanting to move in that kind of a direction, a nurturing direction where you're nurturing people in your life, nurturing others, that kind of thing. And that's your side of this. So that's where you're at with it. And in order to create relationship with him, in order to really, find out more like what he's, doing, it's about nurturing. You got to kind of nurture that relationship. You got the Queen of Cups, and that's coming, and that's about the emotional influence in that. That's that. It's being able to interact with people around their emotions and kind of where their mindset and makeup is. I think it's pretty obvious what the outcome is, but we'll go ahead and look at the outcome. So we have the outcome here is the Moon. Moon is very hypnotizing. Not always what you see is what you get. Very psychic card, very hypnotizing card. When the moon is out and stuff like that, people are focused. It creates sort of like you see a tame dog and a wild wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. So it doesn't matter. It's just very distracting, and it causes us to really kind of narrowly focus in a certain direction. Card's really about trusting your intuition more than anything. When this card comes up in the outcome card, a lot of times people get dreams. And sometimes they don't know what those dreams mean. It's sort of kind of a mysteriousness. There's a mystery behind it, I guess, is what I'm trying to put forward here. So you could have it's a potential to have a dream or have had a dream. And, but for him, I mean, like where he's at with everything, he's wanted to do things, he's wanted to prove himself, worked hard, now he's taking a little bit of a break when he shouldn't be, And in terms, because he's taking this break, now he's getting inside of his mind, his head. And in the future, probably a couple of weeks out from now, this internal emotional influence will start to come out. Start to understand how, how other people feel and stuff, and he'll be able to interact in a better way. You'll get more insight and clarity within probably a week and a half from now. The answer to this moon, though, like I said before, it kind of hypnotizes us, or kind of puts us in this kind of this critical state. We start letting go of things. Just kind of like, all right, it's cool, whatever. It's kind of that attitude. Kind of let it. It's really about just trusting your intuition, letting go and trusting your intuition, and things will work out nicely. The answer to that, though, to get that kind of an outcome, to be able to, clear the air, so to speak, kind of understand more of how he's feeling and that kind of thing, is really the Six of Cups card that we had and stuff, that nostalgia card. That's the that could be the introduction of maybe someone from the past or something that's coming in. That defocuses him or something like that on that end. Could be something along those lines. But yeah, this is all about relationships. It's all really positive. So I sense that he he's a very grounded person that cares for you and wants a relationship with you, but he kind of knows psychologically, or he knows just from experience. Remember, we talked about this card about this, repeating things, reliving past experiences. He knows that, he's not going to be able to get what he wants if he doesn't, do things in the right way. He has to, quote unquote, step up to the plate. He has to be financially solvent. He has to be able to make something of himself. He has to prove himself, in a sense. That's where he's thinking anyway. That's where the thinking has been from the past. Right now, he's just kind of like taking a break from that. He's been putting in the effort, but now he's getting too much in his mind, and things are getting cut up. So that's kind of that. I mean, I hope this helps you to some degree. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We could do. Yeah, things are going to go well. Let's just do a 3-card real quick. I was just about to do something along those lines, actually. We'll do a 3-card just to get clarity and stuff. We can do it yes or no, real fast. Let's just do that. How will things really go? Thank you. So, how will things go? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Wow, this just comes up again and again. Tonight, Knight of Pentacles is, like I said before, this is him taking his time to do things in the right way. That indicates a yes. Yeah, Ashley, we can maybe do one for you as well. I was just about to end the live stream, but yeah, why not? So if you have a question, just go ahead and ask, and we'll do a quick reading for you. It won't be very long, because we've been doing this for quite a while, a little over an hour now, and I have some things I have to do, to be honest with you. But sure, please ask, and we'll definitely get you in. But back to infinity is one. Back to the will things go well? This says yes. Okay. By the way, this knight right here. This is inherent conflicts. Basically, the Two of Pentacles here. This is juggling things in order to get things done in the right way. And then we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is getting out there and proving ourselves again. We have another knight, and this is about movement, and this is about the mental movement, moving our thoughts forward and stuff. So, yeah, actually, no, Ashley, you're not taking up my time at all. This is what I do. So, yeah, no, no reason to apologize. But yeah, we'll get your question in here in just a moment. But infinity is one, yeah. He's going to do everything in the right way. Things are going to work out really nice for you. You're going to get what you want because he wants what you want. He just knows that in order to make it a reality, he has to do certain things in a certain way. That I don't want to say perfectionistic way, but just doing things systematically correctly. And he knows what he needs to do. He's just doing it right now. He's just taking a little bit of a break. So if things kind of seem a little off to you right in the current moment, that is the reason why. But he's going to get right back on that horse. We saw the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is about it's about mental movement, which is he's getting outside of the head and going right back to where he needs to be. So yeah, everything's going to be perfect for you guys. I mean, I wish you guys really well. And like I said, in a week and a half, whatever you're feeling now is going to subside, and you'll get a lot more clarity in about a week and a half. Anyways, please, if you get a chance, tune back in and stuff, and let us know how things go. It'd be very interesting to know kind of where things are at in the next week and a half. And that's a really short time period, but that's just kind of what I'm picking up. You're absolutely welcome. All right, so let's go to Ashley. Let's just do a quick reading for Ashley. Ashley's question is, does this guy, we'll just use the initial LC, still think about her? They don't have any contact. So let's find out, if he's still thinking about her. And I'm picking up, and this is going to sound a little, I don't even almost need to do the cards for this one. The answer is yes, he is definitely thinking about you. I'm getting a sense, though, that when I'm telling you that, it shouldn't surprise you, because I just don't, I can't see why he wouldn't be thinking about you. It's almost kind of almost like an obvious question. Of course he's thinking about you. It would be hard for him not to be able to think about you because of the type of person that you are. That's what I'm picking up. But let's do a reading. Let's see what the cards have to say. Maybe we'll get more insight in that anyway. That's just what I'm kind of more or less picking up. Positive things, I'm picking up positive energy, which is good. So in the past, talking about the relationship and stuff, we had the Five of Cups. That's it. Five's about change in the tarot, in numerology. It basically asks, this is the past, okay? So don't think of this as the present or the future. Don't get confused, okay? This is like the past. And, yep, hot and cold in the past, yep. Well, this particular card here is about, you got to stop crying, look in another direction for happiness, that kind of thing. Get over hurt, pick up the remaining relationships, that people in your life and stuff like that, and just kind of more or less carry on. Leave things that are broken, leave them alone, And it's about emotional disappointment, depression, it's like exaggerated anger and things like, anger and stuff. But these emotions are really exaggerated. They're kind of more or less, they're made to seem like more important than what they really are. They're just, they're just kind of taken a little bit more out of context. So, people with this, in the past, he's looked at things a little bit out of context. He's kind of more read too much into them, things that he shouldn't have read too much into, he read too much into. Next, we have the King of Swords. This is our present situation right here. So the King of Swords, King's about authority, swords are about, mental and the mind. So it's about having control of the mind, authority over the mind, This king right here is sort of matter of fact. It's black and white, hot and cold, like you said. What's fair is fair, makes decisions based on pretty much whatever information is presented. Very logical, reasoning type of individual, rational thinker type. And that's kind of where he's at right now. He just makes decisions really, not really so much based on emotion. In the future, we have the Five of Pentacles. This is the card of desolation. You see somebody's desolate, kind of out in the cold. Yeah. This Five of Pentacles is about misfortune. It's kind of losing what you have, losing faith in your ability to kind of recreate, the situation that you want for yourself. The key here, though, for this card is about remembering your skills, remembering your abilities, remembering your talents, remembering all the things that you learned that got you where you were at one point. To know that all you got to do is just, do the same thing, or, use those skills and things that you've learned in order to get that again. Think about it, like in terms of relationships, for example. If you're have a relationship with someone, it doesn't work out. What was the initial attraction to why that person liked you in the first place? Was it looks? Was it personality? Was it just some, because you shared values together? Maybe you went to the same church. That happens sometimes with people, or you lived across the street from each other, and so that was attractive. Whatever the case is, or you wanted the same things out of life. Maybe you both wanted to go to live in Hawaii. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. There's normally an initial attraction, and that initial attraction gets forgotten, and you just got to kind of remember that. And so it's sort of a kind of a tip. You kind of look at, why did we fall out of sorts with each other? What did we forget? And when you go back and you look at, well, what did we have in the beginning? It kind of gives you clues. You can kind of look at those clues and use those to your advantage to kind of, tap back into that if that's what you want. Now let's look at really what the answer is. We have the Empress. The Empress right here. A lot of tarot card readers, and I've seen this before, a lot of them assume that this is just mainly about pregnancy and stuff, but this is really about nurturing creation. Now, creation can be pregnancy, like creating, a child or something in your life, or a family, or, creating a future, or creating wealth, or creating all kinds of different things. It really depends on the context of the context of the reading. This Empress, though, she has a mate, and the mate is the Emperor. The Emperor is all about laws, logic, rules, these kind of things. The Empress here, though, she's about nurturing creation, nurturing things, building things up. She's a very good energy, motherly energy. She's good at making people feel good, helping them, to feel better if they don't feel so good, So that's really, kind of that. And that's really the answer card. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then the energy surrounding the King of Swords, that's the mental authority figure we talked about. That's that black and white, hot and cold and all. What's really the energy surrounding that, or what's really going on with him when he's kind of in that zone? Well, we have the Star. You can see the Star there. It's a good omen. Okay, Star is about good omen. Anytime in history you look at different religions, you look at different spiritual books, stories. The Star is usually like a guiding light. Yep, it's sort of it gives you a path, it gives you a direction, and that's what that's going. It's a spiritual card. It's a wish card too. It's like where wishes are fulfilled, good omens, things. We see those kind of things a lot. But it's also about prevailing peace. Peace prevails a lot with the Star card. When that comes up, good omens, good things are happening. So that's kind of the energy surrounding the current situation right now. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Of course, cups are relationships, and they're to do with the unconscious or emotional realm of life and that type of thing, feelings, emotions, those kind of things. Things are a little bit more subjective, harder to kind of articulate. And this is the King of Cups. He's the king of relationships, and that Knight of Relationships. He's a court card, but these guys, they want to prove themselves in love. They want to prove themselves in relationships. Prove that, that you're worthy to do this. And this card here is kind of along the lines of It's really about emotional movement, following the heart, going where your intuition guides you. But just kind of keep in mind that this is the emotional realm, or the it's where feelings and things of the heart, things of a higher vibrational frequency, things that are a little bit harder to articulate or really kind of define in terms of words and language and that kind of thing, kind of come into play. Finally, we have our outcome, and we have strength. Strength is a really great card. So strength is, if you look here, you know, have this maiden, angel, female energy, and we have this here lion, you know, which is normally lions are, you know, represented by the zodiac sign Leo, and Leo's, you know, we act and ask questions later. You know, they rush into everything. It's also the wands. It's kind of representative of the same kind of creative energy and things that the wands represent and stuff. And that's where you get it kind of in the zodiac, like with the, but what's interesting is you notice she's able to pacify him so easily, and she's not worried or concerned or fearful or anything like that, because she has strength. You know, she knows that, you know, through this nurturing and through, she can tame the wild beasts or tame the negativity, or, you know, put things up as an influence, you know, and that's the outcome of that. The Empress, of course, is our answer card. And we talked about pregnancy. We talked about family. We talked about creating a future together and building something into something more. And that's that. And so that's really, yeah, so that's where you're headed. You know, as far as where he's at right now, this guy, you know, he's definitely thinking about you, but he's also like, you know, wherever he's at right now, in a little bit of time from now, you know, he's gonna kind of, I'm really trying to get a time. I'm seeing like the number 5 keeps coming to mind, and 5's about change. So I'm just trying to understand, you know, you have this, things are coming about for you in a nice positive way in that. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to, it's 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, maybe 5 months, thereabouts is where you is that pregnancy, or is that that relationship I'm picking up? I'm really sorry, my the energy is a little bit heavier, or a little bit lighter, so it's more pushed out. So I'm picking up maybe about 5 months is kind of where I'm going at with that. That's me thinking more consciously, and it's kind of hard for me to go from being unconscious to conscious. Forgive me for that, but maybe about 5 months in that, you're going to start to see a change in the relationship. You guys will be together, but to get to 5 months seems like a long time, you know, for a normal person. So it does take some strength. You know, you're going to have to be a little bit patient and kind of let him work things out and that kind of thing. But yeah, he's definitely thinking about you. I mean, I kind of, you know, I feel almost like a sense of surprise when I heard that. I was like, of course he's thinking, you know, it's just automatically instant. I picked that up. It wasn't, there's no hesitation, doubt, question in my mind about that. Definitely thinking about you. He's probably trying to think of how he can get out of the situation he's in right now so that he can be with you. Whatever that's, whatever's holding him back. It could be mental conflict. We did see a lot of those swords, so it could be mental. Maybe he's having some, he's having something in his life or something like that. It's too much thinking going on. Not enough focus on how to get what he wants. So he's not, the practical maybe is a little bit, maybe he's going to be working there. But yeah, about 5 months. And guys, I'm really sorry. I have to end the live stream because I've got so many things I got to do and I'm a little bit behind on them. Ashley, thank you so much for the reading, and you're absolutely welcome. Yeah, I'm glad that explains a lot for you. And same thing for you, Infinity is One. It was great having you guys here, and everyone else that we've done readings for tonight. It's been a whole lot of fun. And, you know, like I say, I do these live streams all the time. If you guys want to connect with me or anything like that, you want more readings, more insights or anything like that, If you have follow-ups or anything like that, you can email me. I'll have the email in the description below this video. It's just really my first name, Chandra, Chandra, and then the number 108 at gmail.com. So it's Chandra108 at gmail.com. That's my direct email. But we're monks. We pretty much do this. This is a spiritual gift I've been given, and so I try to give it back. As monks, we take a vow of poverty, so we don't, we're not doing things for money or anything on that. And of course, if you want to help support the monks and stuff like that, so that we can buy food and serve it, it's pretty much what we do. We have like lentils, and we make soups and all kinds of things, for the community and different people and stuff as well as our own basic maintenance and stuff. You're always free to donate. It's helpbydonating.com. Of course, if you want a tarot reading or something like that, we also have a website, indirectknowledge.com. And that's pretty much it. And if you want to just get a reading or something and you just want to bypass everything and, just email me. It's fine. And we'll get you a reading. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. And, bless you all. And let me know how things go. I'm very curious. And I'm always here for you guys. So if you need anything, just please feel free to reach out. All right. Thanks so much. I'll end it.